get that? That'd be right.
If you send the link, wait, before you go on, Mark. Oh, never mind.
We're already on. Too late.
too late.
Hi, guys.
Hey, welcome to Tone Talk with Mark and Dave. And Robert Baker is our special guest tonight, as well as Pete Thorn, who joined us in the last second. So, guys, how are you?
Good.
Pretty good. Good to see you guys. Good to see you, Robert. I haven't seen you for a while.
Yeah, man. Good to see everybody.
Yeah.
Robert, I'm going to get you the link right now. So
cool. Yeah, I say we'll get to see each other in person here in like a month.
If you open the link, mute the sound on the link.
Yes.
Okay.
And then you can pop out the chat. There's a little thing in the upper right hand. You can pop the chat out.
Okay, cool.
And Pete, it's coming on the way right now.
Okay.
There we go.
And
if you don't mute the sound, you'll understand why in a minute.
Yeah. It just started to talk. I was like, I don't want to hear myself talk.
Oh yeah, and it's delayed, so it'll be really confusing. So
I've had that happen to me multiple times. So okay. All right, cool. I think I got it all ready there. So cool. It's a Sunday night, the eve before Christmas Eve. And last show of the year for Tone Talk. So exciting night. We've got some gifts we're giving away. Some special gifts.
What are you giving away? And what's that all about?
We're giving away a BEOD pedal.
Sweet.
And also we're going to give away, people don't know that, but I'm just going to say it right off the bat. A couple of Tone Talk metal signs. Desk signs.
Nice.
So we will give these away. I will think up of a couple questions along the way that we can ask people in the chat. I will get this off right off the bat that when we do this, I had this happen last year where I asked a question and then in the chat people answered. And then in the order that I see it could be a little bit different than the order that you see it. So I had to prove to somebody that their answer came before, that somebody else's answer came before theirs. So I just want to make sure if I see it and that's what I see, that's the way it's going to be. And Dave will confirm with me what he sees. I will
confirm, yes.
Exactly. So anyway, so on to the show. So how are you guys doing?
Great, man. Almost Christmas time. So I'm like food coma ready. So I'm 2 days preparing for it.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, everything's good. Just getting ready myself to take 2 days off and chill for a couple of days. It's been a crazy month, so
yeah. Chill for a couple of days before hell starts again.
Yeah, well, I'm moving, so it's like I did this new room, this new studio.
Looks beautiful.
So it was kind of constructed. Thanks. It was definitely a lot of trips to Home Depot and stuff like that. So it was, and not to mention a lot of checks, so collecting receipts. Money. Yeah, lots of bleeding money. And then I decided, hey, why don't I move in the same month? So that's brilliant. And so it's just crazy. And so I'm doing floors at the new place that I'm moving into and stuff like that. Just got it painted. And then I actually have to move. So I'll take 2 days off for, long story short, 24th, 25th, and 26th. It's packing and floors and stuff, and then I'm moving on the 29th. So I'm looking forward to February.
Oh man,
because then you have NAMM right after that.
Yeah, exactly. And now, like March, actually, it'll be like, let's just get into March. Things will be cool in March.
Do you get just like slammed after NAMM with all the new products that come out? I mean,
it's leading up to NAMM.
Leading up to it.
Yeah, there's usually like a last minute rush of for making pedal videos. People are like, hey, can you do and I already know, like, I got to do one and it's got to be done by January 2nd. Then I got another one that's coming, certain things, but it'll get to it, and invariably that last week ends up being like, 5 or 6 in 1 week. I got to knock out.
Yeah. I've already had it. Oh yeah. Obviously I've already had a bunch of companies like ask me, I was like, to be honest, I go all the kind of pre-NAMM, because I only do like one demo a week. I'm like they're already like gone. There's nothing else I can do now for demos at this point. But
yeah, because they take a minute. It's a couple days of work. Yeah.
How long does it take typically to do a video demo for a pedal?
How long do you
Is that
take?
like a?
How long do you take, Robert?
It takes me forever because I usually end up like I'll write like 3 or 4 different songs. Like when I did the Golden Pearl, I was late by a week getting my video out because I wrote like 3 different songs for it, and I'd get the full song done. I'm just like, you know what? I think I hate this song, and then I just delete it and start over again. So it just depends. But with a Gold 72, like I think you guys sent me that like a month or 2 before it needed to be done, and it was like 2 days later. I was like, all right, I got it done. Like it just inspired a song right away. So I don't know. I don't know how you've done so many.
You work harder than I do. I don't know what it is, but I basically I probably take like, I don't know. I guess I try and get a track done in a day. I try and get the track done in a day, essentially, and then then the editing and all that stuff, like an importing video and maybe mixing and stuff like that, will take me in another day usually. So it's sometimes I say a day and a half, but it's really ends up being like 2 days of work, I guess. So, yeah.
Okay.
Like 2 pretty good full days, of like whatever 8-10 hour days or something like that. Yeah.
It's a significant amount of time, regardless. So.
Yeah, it's all fun though. Sitting here playing guitar and writing songs, and the editing is sometimes a little bit of drudgery, but even that's kind of fun.
And you both do your own editing, right? You both do your own video and editing. It's not like you have someone behind the scenes doing all that stuff for you.
I wish.
I know, right?
That'd be great.
That would be.
Yeah.
I mean, I know, like Andertons. Speaking of Andertons, we were talking about Dave's video, his interview with Andertons just a little while ago. I think they have like guys who are cutting video, and
yeah, they do. They put out a video a day.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they told me. Video a day.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Every day. So they're
it can only be done if you
they're
got a
constantly filming and doing it.
team. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you got like 1 or 2 other people helping you, you could do that. But to do it by yourself, it's just too much. I mean, importing video takes time, and cutting it, and it's
yeah. But those guys aren't actually writing songs either.
Exactly.
Right.
You guys are writing songs, or at least portions of songs.
Yeah. Well, even when I was at Toman, because I mean, they had basically a team of people when we were there doing videos, because they had some guy doing sound, video, all that. So I mean, it was great. I was like, this is amazing. It's kind of like GitCon. Like you just sit down and they do everything for you.
Yeah.
Were you there recently?
No, it was last year. I was there twice last year.
Is it that little tiny room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like so we were there.
Tiny
I think
little room.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
It's this tiny. It's tiny, right?
We were in there for 12 hours, I think, the one day, just all day long doing stuff. It was so hot in there. It was summertime.
Yes.
I'm just like drenched in sun. I'm sure I look great on camera right now. It's just.
Well, the funny thing is, even when it's cold outside, it's still hot in there.
Yeah.
Like we were there, and it was I mean, it was cool. It wasn't hot, but it was, it was decently, 60, 55, something like that. And yeah, no, it's still hot in that room.
Yeah.
They're going to redo
I remember
it.
going and
redo it, make a bigger one, and make better air conditioning is their goal too.
Yeah.
They wanted to do videos of a lot of products when I was there, stuff, and I said, why don't I just do everything all in one, and they'll kind of set up all the stuff that because I was out there to do clinics. I do my recording and production for the Modern Guitarist Clinic, and I said, why don't I just set up everything, and then I'll run through all that gear, and we'll just talk about that, because then it'll be, you get a few videos of information about it, and then it'll go. And sure enough, because we had a lot of stuff to do that day, and then we were only there about 3 hours doing that or something, but it was
Nice.
cool. We got a lot done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that place is really cool.
It is cool. Yeah.
Did they still have those can lights in there? I remember when I was there, the lights were brutal.
Yeah.
I'm like not complaining at all. It was, it was so much fun, but I was just like, these are pretty like intense on your eyes. Like,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So, it's a little brutal.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
And the other interesting thing is when we were doing those videos, when we were there, Sammy and I, Sammy like wanders down the hallway and sees right down the hallway from that room is this room full of pianos.
yeah.
And he's like, can I check these out? Can you open the door for me? And because it's locked up, because they're all like 1911. 1920 Steinways and stuff that have
Wow.
been immaculately redone. So they look like brand new pianos.
Wow.
Yeah.
Completely refurbished, but they're actually like amazingly old pianos. And first of all, I never knew he played piano. So I'm like, going, what do you want to do? He goes, I want to play the pianos. I go, you play piano too? And so
that's what he was started on, I think, right?
He goes in and starts playing the piano. And the interesting thing was he was going from piano to piano, and every piano has a tone of its own.
Sure. Yeah.
And it didn't really totally dawn on me until he's sitting there and he's like basically A-Bing the pianos.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, oh, that one's kind of warm and woody. Oh, this one's like really percussive and bright. And this one is this, and this one is that. And it was amazing to listen back to back like that on all these old pianos. That was really cool, actually.
Yeah.
That's neat. Yeah, Bosendorfers and Steinways, and they all have
and all these were immaculately redone. I'm like, oh my God, just don't touch them barely, you know. So don't lean on them, don't look at them the wrong way. I don't want to scratch them.
Yeah.
They're probably some crazy figure of money.
Well, it kind of makes sense with Sammy's style then, because I mean, it's so much tapping stuff. So I wonder if that like comes from, piano first.
I think so. Although he's not, he said he goes, I don't really play very much. I played when I was young, and you're still young. That's what I said.
That was yesterday. That was yesterday.
So
these guys, you just want to beat them up. It's like McAlpine. It's like first time I heard him play, I was just like, oh, come on, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, I was watching him play piano, and he's like, I'm not that good, and he, he's playing, and I'm like, going, yeah, well, you're pretty good. I imagine if you actually played ever, you'd be really good.
Right.
Wow.
Well, and then he's like, what was that? I think I saw him on Crossroads the first time, and he was like battling Steve Vai keyboards versus guitar, and then he comes up from behind the keyboard and he just starts like battling Steve Vai with guitar. I'm like, who is this guy? And it's Tony McAlpine.
Oh, yeah.
McAlpine, yeah. No, dude, he did the whole like he plays left hand on the guitar and right hand on the keyboard, and he harmonizes.
That's insane.
Crazy.
And he's just it's insane. It's ridiculous. Like, what the hell are you doing? First time I heard him play, I didn't know it was him because there's two great keyboard players on this tour that I did with him in France. It was a great big band with like two keys, two guitars, bass, singers, the whole 9 yards. And I heard this blistering classical piano coming from somewhere, and I was like, where is it? And the guy that actually, there's three amazing I guess there was four, because if Tony, the two keyboard players in the band, and then the guy I was playing with, which was Michel Polnareff, he plays piano. That was kind of his thing. He's almost like the French Elton John or something. I don't know. But I could hear this piano coming from over on stage left. I'm like, well, who's that? I'm like, Brad's over there, and the other keyboard player's over there, Phil. And I'm like, and Michelle's not here. And I realized it was Tony. And he was sitting at Michelle's piano playing, and it was just like, I mean, he's insane. He's like a savant kind of situation, because I guess he could do that when he was 5. He was just like Rachmaninoff, But yeah. So and guitar for him, the interesting thing about him is that guitar is he's like, oh, it's not like, I'm like, how do you do that? Like these crazy sweeping things he does and stuff. And I'm like, isn't that really difficult? Like, what? And he goes, no, I wouldn't do it if it was difficult. He's like, I don't do things that are difficult for me. Just like, it's easy. I just feel like it's like he doesn't really think, like the guitar for him is just like a second nature kind of thing. Like almost like he just sort of, well, I don't know, I play piano. It's like this, and I'll just pick up the guitar. Oh, I can play this. It's like it was an amazing night. There was an amazing night at the end of the tour, actually, where a couple gigs got canceled because Michelle was sick at the end of the tour, and we were in Nantes, I think, France, and so we ended up like not doing the gig, and we just had kind of a fun last minute party in the basically the lobby of this hotel where there was a bar and there was a piano there, and Brad Cole, he's Phil Collins' MD, he's an incredible keyboard player and musician he's really amazing, kind of jazz based, kind of keyboard player, and then Tony, who's more like classical trained. They were sitting beside each other at this baby grand piano, and everybody was just having drinks and stuff. We're in the lobby of this hotel, so there's like a check-in desk there, and guests are coming in and out, and these two guys are sitting there, and they just started improvising. And there's video of it actually way back on my Instagram from ages ago, but they were just trading and kind of on jazz standards and trade, and it was like, holy shit, man. Like, it was right at the end of the tour, and I was just like, why am I in a band with these guys? Why do they even let me in the same room? Why did they even let me in the same room? It's just, really brilliant how amazing they sounded that night. I think it was a treat for everybody in the lobby, all the guests and stuff.
Yeah.
Those guys. Anyway.
It's cool. And what a departure from what they're, well, at least Tony McAlpine, for what he's known for. That's cool. Good stuff. By the way, we've got a lot of people watching the show. Chat's on fire. About 144
not a lot of questions yet, guys.
Yeah, not many questions, but that's cool. I thought I would we might as well just get ourselves started and give away why don't we give away the pedal, Dave? What do you think?
That's fine.
I don't want to make people wait 2 hours until we give something away.
You're waiting forever.
Yeah.
We'll watch. Everyone will just go away. It's over.
So I was thinking it's a relatively easy question, but I just have a question, and whoever answers it first will win the BEOD. And then, I don't know, Dave, if you want to come up with something else for the Tone Talk thingies that we'll handle.
Put me on the spot. I would have to think about that.
All right. Well, then I won't put you on the spot. Whatever. All right. So let's see. The question that I came up with was, who was our first guest of 2018? So if you can come up with who our first guest was for 2018, and I see that name in the chat, you win.
I'd like to know myself.
The BEOD.
I don't know myself.
I looked it up. I confirmed it. And
right now, everyone is desperately.
I'll let you decide. You see.
We have a few things coming in now.
Yeah. No. Oh, I see it. I see the name there. Let me make sure that I can't highlight it. It's going so fast.
I saw them start to come in.
Okay. I see the name. I think the first name that I see that came from T Crane said Mike Soldano.
Let me just double check that because my screen just skipped.
If you see,
was it really? That seems like it was not that long ago.
Yeah, he was the first guest in January.
Wow.
Man.
It was like January 11th.
Yeah, correct. The first person that put a name out was Ronnie Turk with John Sir, but that wasn't in.
Right.
So yes, T Crane, Mike Soldano.
Yeah.
You win a pedal.
Although he didn't spell it right, but I'll give it to him. He spelled it Solo Dono, but
I like some of the picks that people were like Danny H said Justin Bieber. Brian Lander says Earl Scruggs. No, it wasn't Bieber.
George Trips. We haven't even had him on yet.
Yeah, he was on the Tim and Pete show. You gotta get him on.
T Crane.
No, I plan to.
If you can email me, T Crane, at tonetalkmark, marc@gmail.com, we'll get you your information. Email your address and stuff to me, and then we'll get it out to you. Okay, T Crane. Thank you. That was fun.
All right, I'm gone. So.
All right.
Instead of losing the chat, we lose Robert.
So, Robert, I'm glad that you joined us. I want to know.
Yeah, man.
How did you get into how long you've been playing guitar, and tell us the story on how'd you get into YouTube and like lead us up to.
Tell us
how you got it. Yeah, tell us how you got into this stuff.
Well, it was back in 1989. No, I was actually. Yeah.
Wait, that's my story.
Yeah. No, but I've been playing for like 13 years now. But originally, I was supposed to go out to California to go to MI, and I was gonna go to school out there and stuff. And I was in bands and all that, and I had tried doing the band thing for about 5 years. And I just kind of felt like I wasn't getting any better at guitar. I was just focused on being the band. So I quit all of them to work on playing guitar to get ready to go out to school. And a music store asked me to teach guitar for him and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's a cool. I mean, that's basically what I wanted to do anyways. So that'd be great. And then I started doing that. And I was going to school for media communications, like video editing and all that stuff. And then YouTube kind of came out finally. And I was like, this is great. It just mixes everything together. So just kind of had a webcam with potato quality video, amazing audio that sounded awful. And that was just kind of it, really. I just liked doing it. I mean, it's just fun at the end of the day. So it's just kind of how it all came to be. And it's funny because some of the first guys I watched, and I think I've told Pete this before. Pete was one of the original guys I watched on YouTube in your house. I think it was your Badger 18 video.
Yeah.
I can't remember what your username was. It was before you had changed it to Pete Thorn.
Yeah,
but,
no, that was one of the very first things I did. I don't know.
Was it?
Yeah. I had a PreSonus interface and an old like 2006 iMac, and just, you know, I did that video because they gave me a nice artist deal on the amp, and I thought, what can I do? And I thought, well, I just got this PreSonus, and maybe I'll do a nice recording and maybe video of the amp and talk about it a little bit. And then I put that out, and they said, hey, we've been hearing really great things from our dealers about, you know, this video that you made and about how people have been buying the amps and stuff. And I would, like, light bulb went off. I went like, oh, like, it was very haphazard, like, you know, not a plan. They didn't ask me to do it or anything.
Well, and I think you were the first guy to me. I watched other guys like Keith Merrow, who I liked a lot, like his video production and all that stuff. But to me, you were the first one that had like good tone, you know?
Thanks. Yeah, it was, I had Logic, and I had a 57 and a ribbon mic, and I could just put it on there and not clip it and record it, get a decent sound, you know, and I could kind of turn it up a bit in the place I had them. Not a lot has changed.
You just have a better interface.
Yeah, basically.
Better monitor.
Yeah. I'm just older. That's all that's changed. More gray hair. That's about it.
Better gear.
The guy got older. Yeah, bigger room.
Similar
though. Basically, it looks almost the same. It was like it had white walls and a wood floor. It doesn't really look different.
Actually,
yeah, it was only like 5 miles from here.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking.
There you go.
Yeah, but yeah, that's just kind of like it. You know, it was just watching a lot of other guys, and I was just kind of like, I want to do that, and it just started making videos, and it just kind of went from there.
That's awesome, because for 13 years, that's not really playing guitar that long. You're really good for 13 years.
Actually, I think the opposite. I think it should be way better. You see, like a kid who's been playing like 5 years, and he's like, Ingve. I was watching in Shanghai. What's her name? It's the little. I think she's a Chinese girl. She's like 9 now or something like that.
Was that the one who was also in the video with Paul Reed Smith?
Yeah. I was watching her. I was like, who's playing? She was playing For the Love of God. And I just kind of like wandered over, and I was like, oh my God, it's her. So I was like, I got to wait and like meet her. And she's this crazy, like this shy little girl just sweeping and all this. I'm like, this is ridiculous. So
wacky.
Yeah, that is amazing. That's always mind blowing when you see that.
But you got to keep in mind when even, you know, our heroes, you know, everybody was like under 25 when they did all this shit that everybody still talks about, you know, Hendrix,
absolutely,
and Eddie Van Halen, and, you know, and everybody was like, they were just kids.
Oh, how old was he when the first record came out?
Who, Van Halen?
Yeah, wasn't he like 21 or something?
22 or something, yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
so
it's crazy.
That is crazy.
And he was doing it a couple years before that, right? So he was underage when you think about it. When he was, you know, 76, 77.
Back in the,
you know, he was on fire. I was going to say that.
Well, it's just like you know, Tommy Lee too. Tommy Lee was like the youngest person in the band. He was like playing when he was like 16 or something, wasn't he?
Wow.
Like when they were doing the clubs or some stuff like that. Yeah,
I think Mick was like 38. He was.
Yeah,
like,
I was saying Mick Mars was older.
Yeah, Mick Mars was older. Tommy was like, you know, 17 or 18, I think, when that started going down.
Yeah.
Well, look at Neil
imagine
Sean.
that as your schooling for years.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, Neil Sean was like 15 when he joined Santana, wasn't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
He was young. Wasn't Rick Allen, Def Leppard? He was real young whenever he started out, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I just saw a video today of Neil Schon playing in 1978 playing Rock Candy with Sammy Hagar.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was actually really cool.
That's cool.
With his hair out to here.
Yeah.
It's a
All those
big afro. Yeah.
Was Ronnie Montrose with them, or it was?
No, this was Sammy solo.
Sammy solo. Oh,
yeah, 78.
That's cool.
That's cool, man.
Have you ever seen Sammy's YouTube channel where he basically goes around and interviews everybody? There's a really cool video with him and Neil.
I saw some pieces of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so cool. I was like, God, Sammy just seems like just the absolute guy you want to hang out with. He's just.
You want to hear my
typical guy?
You want to hear my Sammy Hagar story?
Pete's like, let me crush your soul real quick.
No. I'm gonna affirm. We were playing at in Austria at a festival in Austria, and Chickenfoot was on the bill. And it was Michael Anthony's birthday. Let's remember that too, because that's part of the story. But before the gig, our drummer Sutter, he knew Chad Smith, and so we went by the Chickenfoot dressing room, and Chad came out and he was talking to us, and then Sammy and Michael came up and stuff, and they're super nice. And Sammy's like, "Hey man," he's like, "So you guys play with Chris Cornell?" And we're like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Man, I've always wanted to meet him. Always wanted to meet him. He's a great singer." And I go, "Well, come on, man, let's go down to the dressing room and we'll go say hi." And he's like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah, okay." So it was me and Sammy. We go walking off down the hallway and go to the dressing room. We walk up to the door, and I go, "Go ahead, man, just go in." And he opens the door, and Chris is sitting there, and he was warming up because we were about to play pretty soon. And his wife Vicky was sitting in there as well. And Sammy closed the door. He goes, "Oh man, he's like singing his wife a song or something, man. I don't want to bother him. He's like right in the middle of something." I go, "Dude," he's gonna freak out. You're Sammy Hagar. Just go in there, right?" And he goes, "Okay." And he opens the door and he goes, "Hey, fuck Cornell, what's going on in here?" "Hey, fuck Cornell, what's going on?" I always remember him saying that. "What's going on in here?" And Chris is just like laughing, because it's Sammy Hagar just bursting into the room. So then we played, and then Chickenfoot played after us. And I always remember the guys from Monster Magnet were standing on the side of the stage, and we were all watching them on the side. And Sammy did a moment with a lap steel where he steals. And Michael came over, and it was his birthday. And all the guys, for some reason, in Monster Magnet had their own bottles of Jack Daniels.
That makes sense.
Everybody's got Jack Daniels. And Mike came walking over to us, and one of the Monster Magnet guys reaches out and hands the bottle of Jack to Mike. And it's Mike Anthony with a bottle of Jack Daniels, which was like the thing, right? Back in the day.
Yeah. That's it.
He just grabs it and he's like, we're like, "Happy birthday, dude," when he comes over, and he just grabs it and he swigs off the bottle of Jack and hands it back. And he goes, "Oh, I haven't done that for a long time." So, it was great. It was like, wow, we just witnessed him do that right in front of us. And then I always remember after the gig, we were all hanging out after backstage and stuff like that. And Sammy came up to me and he goes, "Hey man," he goes, thanks for talking to me and open the door there and going and saying hi to Chris." He's like, if he hadn't been cool, I wouldn't want him to be my fucking friend anyway." We'd gotten upset. It was really cool. He's exactly as you would imagine, He was really fun and really nice, and just seemed like a really cool dude.
Fun-loving guy. That's cool.
Yeah.
I can still sing too.
Oh,
yeah, I saw him at something like 6 or 8 months ago. It was a charity event that Matt Storm was doing in Hollywood at the Palace, the old Palace or whatever it's called.
Yeah. With Steve.
Yes,
where Steve played with him. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and Steve played with him. That's right. Yeah. And that's how now you're reminding me. Yeah, Steve invited me. So I went, and Sammy he was like 70, right? He's like 71 now, I think.
Yeah.
And he sang. It was funny because he sang a new song, and it was a great song. And he was apologizing for it, saying, "Well, I know everybody wants to come here and hear the old stuff, and so please don't be upset. I'm just wrote this today." And I was like, "You're Sammy Hagar. You don't got to apologize." And it was a really cool song. He sat down with acoustic guitar and just played it by himself, and I liked it a lot. But he looks so good for his age, I mean, he looks like, I feel like he looks like younger now than he did 5 years ago.
Yeah, and he still can sing. At 71 years old, your voice deteriorates over time generally.
Yeah.
And yet his still pretty strong.
Yeah. The last pre-recordings I've heard, he sounded good.
Yeah.
Sounded good. Although Van Halen will not be getting back together with him, I seriously doubt it. In my opinion.
Yeah. It's a shame. I finally got to, because Eddie's the reason why I ever even picked up a guitar, but I got to see them. I think it was, what was that?
Well, sorry, finish your thought, but tell me also, I want to know about that. Like why what you heard it, but finish your previous thought. Like,
no, I was just saying in 2007, when they finally reunited, it was 2007, 2008, they finally reunited with Dave.
Yeah,
who was the whole, like I said, the whole reason why I played guitar. I wish that it would have been with Michael, but I mean, it was still cool to see Wolfgang up there. And I just remember it was David Lee Roth's birthday because he was at Q Arena. So Eddie came out, you know, the Van Halen blimps come out and all. I was just like, this is just like what I've imagined my whole life. And he just comes out and he plays Happy Birthday on the guitar and all that kind of stuff. And it was amazing. But to go back to what Pete was saying, no, what's funny is when I was younger, right before I started playing guitar, I was obsessed with the band Creed. And I love Mark Tremonti still and all that stuff. But I just remember my dad being like, because he's this Southern guy, he's like, boy, let me play you some real music. And he pulls out 1984 and takes out my Creed CD and just like, you know, throws it down on the seat. And he like puts on, he's like, listen to this. And he like puts on Hot for Teacher. And I just hear I was like, what is that? And he's just like, boy, that's Eddie Van Halen, the greatest guitar player that's ever lived. And I was just like, what? And then that next day he took me to the store and let me get Van Halen 1 because he's like, dude, you got your Ice Cream Man. He was just excited for me to like be so interested about this stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember then I just saved and I got Diver Down because he wanted me to hear Intruder. He's like, can you believe he's making all these sounds on his guitar? And I just remember how excited he was for me.
Cool.
To me, I was like, oh, dude, he's like, Eddie's the man. He's like, I'm telling you this. And from that day forward, I'm like, Eddie's the man. So
that's interesting because I was wondering, like, if you've been playing a relatively short period of time, and in my, you know, because I'm getting on in years, so 13 years. So I was wondering how you know, because it's not that long ago that you got introduced to it. So it's like 2004 or 5 or something.
Yeah, it
cool.
would have been. Yeah, I don't remember what year it was. I guess because I started playing when I was about like 16. So I started kind of like late, I guess. But yeah, I just remember him playing that.
When did you start teaching?
I started when I was 18. So by the time I was 18, I was teaching. And then I think when I was 21, I was like doing it full time and stuff.
That's fast.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
you know,
I think Sammy did that too. He started teaching when he was like 16 or 17, I think he said.
Yeah.
And he's never had another job.
Yeah, this is. I worked at Sam's Club for a while. I was in marketing there, but other than that, that's the only, I guess, like real job I think I've ever had. I got kind of lucky because I actually taught at a school. A school asked me to come teach, and I was like, I don't have any kind of degree in music or anything. They're like, yeah, but a bunch of our students take lessons from you, and their parents were all just kind of like real supportive. Like, no, we really would like Robert to teach there. So I taught for a year, like teaching actual classes.
How old were you then?
That would have been more when I was like 23.
Still pretty young though.
Yeah.
So you started when you were like what age? At 16 or 17?
16. Yeah.
Yeah. I did that too. I was like 16 or 17. When I was 17, I was teaching about 35 kids a week. Like, and it's great, you know, because you're doing what you love and kind of getting to do it.
Yeah.
You know, right? I mean, at that you're getting to practice. Like, whoa, this is pretty good, and you know, like making some money and teaching and getting to play my guitar. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was great. I remember whenever I quit, like officially like quit like my normal job. It was like now looking, that's like the worst time in the world to do it. Like, why would I do that? It was right before we had my son and all that kind of stuff, and I was just like trying music full time, you know, and that was that was just kind of it. And I remember the first summer I hadn't taught through a summer, and they're like, get ready, and sure enough, like my students like got cut in half right away, and just basically like sold all my. I kept like there's one guitar I regret selling, and it was during that time period. I was just like, I just have to sell it, you know. But I've actually been like hunting for that guitar for years now. It was an American Strat, but you know.
What was so special about it?
You'll probably regret selling, you know, in your one guitar that you really regret selling. I probably have 20 things I really regret selling. Maybe more.
Yeah. 54 gold top. That's my big one.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think you talked about that before. Was that refinished? It was like
It had a refin top. The rest of it was original, but the top already looked like it was just if you told me it had been refin, I would have known because it was already checking and getting green again around the arm. It was probably done in the 70s. And then it had a headstock repair. So it had a broken headstock, but it was a real 54 Les Paul with all original parts. And I sold it like a jerk.
Is that with P90s? Is that what I just bought I haven't decided because the listing was actually wrong, but I just bought before the show started an 89, like a 56 reissue basically of a gold top, which is basically what you're describing is exactly what I want.
Yeah,
they're great. Yours will have the Tune-O-Matic, the 56 reissue. Mine was a 54, so it's just a stop bar, but that's the only difference though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because they listed it as a prehistoric, but after looking at it, I sent it to my friend and he's like, dude, that's not a prehistoric. That's a normal standard because it has the Nashville bridge or tailpiece on it or something.
What color is it? Is it black?
I know it's gold top. Gold top. Yeah. And all that stuff kind of on it, but he like instantly pointed out like 5 things. He's like, they get mixed up all the time. He's like, it's still a great guitar. He said it's just not a prehistoric like 56 like it was listed. But,
yeah.
Oh, that's too bad. I had the same thing happen to me. I bought a Kramer. I thought it was an 86 Kramer, and I sent the pictures off after I bought it. I sent the pictures off to somebody, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's that body is not a Beretta. That's a Pacer body." I'm like, Jesus.
Oh, like an earlier one?
It was still an 80. It was an 86 Pacer instead of an 86 Beretta body.
Oh, okay.
It had the Beretta neck, but the Pacer body. So it was like a mismatch guitar.
Oh,
I see. So got it. Speaking of that, we got it at Guitar Center.
Pulling it around full circle.
Yeah, full circle. Yeah, I called them actually, and they made it right though. They took some money off the guitars, so it was cool.
Yeah.
They decided to keep it. They were either going to take it back, and I was like, when am I going to find another lefty Pacer?
Is that the one you just got?
No, that was the blue one. Is an actual real Beretta.
It's a later version of it though, but
yeah, mine's like that's an 86.
Yeah, it was an odd version. I read about that one where they did the body shape was a little different and stuff. It wasn't like the early ones.
Yes, exactly. The body shape is more like a almost like a Jackson Soloist.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I never even knew that existed because I have like a 19 really early Beretta that I had since I was a kid, and super wide neck. It was one of the necks made by ESP, the flat headstock, not the angled back. The holy grail of Berettas.
It has It has the holy grail headstock.
Yeah. It has that right neck and the holy grail headstock thing. Yeah.
I've never seen a Kramer in person ever in my entire life to even like play like. Cause I have my old
like this one.
See, I've other than like the new ones, but I mean like a real
black Pacer.
Yeah,
right it's nice. A cool guitar. I have this guitar and it's fucking bitching.
It's a cool guitar.
I kind of bought it just because on a whim because the necks on the old Pacers with that style headstock were just really great, and it was just it's a maple guitar actually. It's a really punchy, cool neck, and I remember that fondly. And I never actually had a Pacer as a kid, so I was like, I saw one come up and it was like $600 or something, and I'm like, ooh, click.
When I was at 14, we were here on a family vacation, and I got one of those, but mine had one pickup, same body as yours, Dave, but it was blue sunburst, like blue burst and black around the edges. Yeah, and it had a single humbucker and a volume tone and a 3-way switch. You could split, series, or parallel the humbucker. But really? my memory of it is that it didn't have the headstock like yours, which was the kind of it had
that's the earlier headstock mine.
Yeah, mine had the hockey stick.
Yeah, that was the later. Yeah.
So it was it was
sure, it wasn't a Beretta then?
No, it was not a Beretta because it had a volume and tone and the 3-way switch, and the pickup wasn't angled.
Oh,
So it was a weird guitar, but I got it from Guitar Center.
well, God, who knows? You could have swapped out the necks.
It was Guitar Center in Sherman Oaks. My dad got it for me when we were here on vacation. I was so stoked. I was so happy. My dad, I love him for that because I went in there and I'd always wanted a Kramer, and there it was. And I got that. Oh man, and it was cool. And I sold that guitar probably 3 years later, and I always regret that was selling because it was cool. That was a neat guitar.
Well, yeah, cool. I kind of, I thought of toyed with the idea of selling this guitar, but I don't know if I'm going to. I think I just kind of want to have it just for fun.
It's your only one.
They're coming back into.
Well, they've gone up in price exponentially. Like, this guitar now is like an $1,100 guitar. So,
well, that neck that has the beak headstock, right?
Yeah, that's the holy grail of the necks.
Yeah, see, that's everyone asked me about my Crackle Charvel that I have, because it's just a mud. It has like a Model 1 maple neck. So I don't think any of the Predators or like 3DRs or anything came with maple necks. They all had rosewood reverse headstocks, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone asked, like, what is that Charvel? And I go, it's just like a bunch of Charvels basically pieced together into one. But I don't know why none of them ever had maple necks on them. I'm like, I love the way maple looks on, a dark guitar or something like that. But I didn't get that at Guitar Center though. So
that guitar that you got, Dave, kind of speaking of maple and dark guitars, looks kind of like the one you did for Steve, your Friedman. It
is similar, black on black on black,
with a maple board, right?
Yeah.
You did maple board.
Originally maple board. I think then he swapped it to a rosewood board.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or was it vice versa? No, yeah, that was the deal. Yeah.
Wasn't it because sighty stuff and you didn't want to deal with any issues? You just put the maple neck on initially, right?
I think that's what we had at the time. Yeah, or something. That was the deal. Yeah. And he used it that way, and then he swapped it out later. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Bless you, Robert.
Thank you.
Right. Yep.
Cool. Another topic I was thinking of, and maybe I should go to the chat, but I was thinking of talking about what we think are some of the best pieces of gear that came out in 2018.
Yeah.
I kind of put together a list of my stuff, but I'd be curious what you guys think. Maybe I'll go through what I think, and maybe you guys can tell me afterward. So right off the bat, I'll tell you one pedal that I bought that I thought was great was the Wampler Pantheon.
Oh yeah,
great pedal.
That's a great pedal.
Yeah, another one that I got, and it's not because I'm affiliated with Dave. I had the Friedman Gold 72 wah. No more tears wah. Awesome wah. The Line 6 HX Stomp. I tried that out. Looks really cool. The 2 Bogner mini pedals. I thought those were really cool.
Oh yeah.
The Game Changer Audio Plasma pedal.
Yeah.
I haven't tried it, but it just totally intrigues me.
It looks cool.
It looks cool. Yeah, it looks cool. Everything about it, just like I'm like, oh, like the whole idea
it's
behind it. Yeah, I want to hear it. And then the last one was the EH Electro Harmonics Oceans 11 Reverb. I thought that was a really cool pedal too. So that's kind of my list. I don't know if you guys have anything that kind of stuck out to you.
You guys go first.
Dave, anything for you?
You know what? Hey, Wampler came out with Frustration pedal.
Oh yeah.
The Frustration is a fantastic fuzz and octave fuzz. Really, really quite cool. And I see a lot of pedals over the years, and I thought that's kind of stood out a little bit. Oh yeah, and Pete has one right there. I thought that stood out a little bit. The octave. I'm a big fan of octave fuzzes, like Octavia style things, and I thought that Octavia in there really sounded great. And the other nice thing I liked about the fuzz was it was a great kind of thick fuzz facey kind of fuzz, but it had a 3-band EQ, so you could really just sort of tweak that fuzz to sound any way you want. You want a bright fizzy fuzz, you could have it. You want a dark, mid-rangey thing, you could have it. You know, bassy, not bassy. You can really tweak it after the fuzz. It's like EQ put after the fuzz. You know.
Nice.
Which was, I thought that was really good. And you know, I don't often you see a lot of pedals, and so we were doing some demo pedal boards for some stores, and that was on it, and like my guy's playing through it here that was putting it together, and I'm like, man, that sounds really good.
Yeah,
I got to get one.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I got to make
cool
a video
stuff.
for it. So
I
that
like
here,
that
but
one.
video pretty soon.
Yeah, I thought that was super cool. I really like octave fuzzes. I've always liked them.
Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah,
Tone benders, or you know, Tycho Brahe style Octavias, like full tone octave fuzz, or all that stuff. It's always intriguing. I always love them.
Yeah, the
I like them
full-tone
too.
one I have is cool too. What about you, Robert? Anything that stood out to you?
You know, I'm bad with like when stuff comes out, but there were a couple like pedals I just really liked this year a lot. One of them, I'm like always a sucker for delays. This is actually a different company called Anna Sounds, but they had a delay. It's called the Utopia Delay. It's like just super simple, but it was just like this really warm, fat sounding delay.
Mm-hmm.
And then did the HX Effects come out this year?
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah, I got one of those, and I liked it a lot. And you know, a couple of like Marker said, the Gold 72 wah, but that was like I literally sold all my other wahs after I got that one. I was like, oh no, this is the exact that middle position 2 was exactly the wah sound that I was like trying to find on other stuff. And then,
yeah.
I guess like
that was
really good sounding one.
It's super good. And then like distortions, like the Rev G3 is just like a kind of over the top higher gain one, and then the Gold Pearl, you know, is one I'm always kind of recommending to people that I got. But
yeah, the Golden Pearl is another big. That one's selling well, Dave, right?
Yeah, actually, you know, we thought that would be overlooked a little bit with releasing the BEOD Deluxe at the same time, and in reality, it's doing extremely well, better than we expected.
yeah, I remember I was talking to Jeff over there when he sent it to me, because I heard it at NAMM. I was like, man, that's going to be like one of those pedals, kind of like the dark horse pedal. Like people I thought would maybe like overlook it because of the BEOD Deluxe.
Yeah.
And I was like, but it's incredible. Like every amp I run that into, it's just like that. It's like a Mojo pedal basically.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, I recommend it.
It's got a good vibe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's
cool.
Good.
What about you, Pete? Anything else stick out in your mind?
Let me see. I thought Dave's wah sounded great too. The just to reiterate what the other guy said, it's really vibey wah. It's got a nice, like kind of old school vibe to it, that where it's got some deep tone mojo going on. And yeah, HX Effects came out in HX Stomp. Those are super useful pedals. I mean, the HX Stomp is the size of a DD500, and it'll basically do anything.
I haven't seen that one yet.
It's a full helix in a pedal, so it's like,
oh really?
You need any of the effects, reverbs. It's the ultimate grab and go, all in one kind of if an H9 or whatever, it's in the same, it'll do anything, and plus it's got amp modeling and IR loader and all that, so you could use it for your whole rig if you want. And
it's like smaller than the HX Effects.
Yeah, it's the size of a DD500 basically. It's like it's that big.
It's tiny. Okay.
Diamond pedal timeline.
Wow.
Size. Very small. So
Pete, can you run multiple effects? Like if you wanted to run a delay and say a phaser and a
up to 7.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, on an H9 you can't do that.
Yeah, well, there's a few on the H9. There's a couple of nice multi-effect algorithms, like the space time one, I think it's called, or something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is on a different. It's a full amp model or in a pedal where you can just use it for effects. So I think it's really great. A couple other things. I mean, it's kind of the year of the load box. I feel like with the.
Well, yeah, we have to mention the new Sir load box. Technically, that's in 2018 now, isn't it?
Yeah. So I mean, I got. It's completely changed the way that I do a lot of work with the. Turn my camera over there. It's like I got the aux sitting there, which came out basically, was introduced last NAMM.
Mm-hmm.
The Sir load box, which just came out. And there's a Fractal X load sitting there, which is really nice too. So there's all these options now that make it so easy to get work done, and so that's great, I think. So those have definitely been some of the most useful things for me this year. What else? I don't know. I have to think about it, like other things that came out this year, but those are some good ones, definitely. Those Line 6 and the different load boxes, the kind of load box revolution,
Yeah, it's amazing, these boxes that are coming out. I saw that Boss is coming out with one too.
Yeah, and it looks
wow.
pretty amazing too. Yeah,
it does.
Oh yeah, I heard it.
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
You got to check
Is
it
it
out.
good?
Yeah.
I got to check it out.
Oh, that's right.
Great, guys. It's great. So
Yeah, they want.
I mean, it's way more than just a load box. It's like more, it could be used more in a live context than it can be used as a great attenuator, like a sort of like a power station style attenuator. It's not really attenuator. It's really a load and a power amp. So it's got tons of bells and whistles, effects in it, built in, delays, reverbs, things like that.
Yeah.
Load your own IRs, use their IRs, all sorts of stuff.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to be pretty hard to get a bad guitar sound both recorded and or live. It's like with all these things, It's going to change the way that that people are doing things so much. I think.
Yeah.
And the prices will keep coming down because it's so competitive. So many things are coming out. I would imagine these prices could come down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the Aux and the Aux and the Boss, they're going to be up there in the plus 1,000, 12, 13.
Oh, right. Even the Boss one will be over that.
Yeah, because it does so much. I mean, I don't even know how they're getting it to that price, because it does multiple different impedance curves, and when you do that, it's a lot of parts. I mean, unless they're simulating it somehow, unless it's not actually switching. But the only way to do that is do different circuits inside the thing. So it's the creme de la creme. But so when you talk about things like the Sur or even the X Load, or these are in the, they're like half the price. They're a more basic unit that'll get you to what a lot of people want to do, and you'll be covered. Whereas the Aux and certainly the Boss are, these are feature laden, full blown, things like effects built in, and obviously the Aux with its interface with the iPad kind of. Yeah. I mean, just the fact that I got the iPad sitting right here on the desk, so I can just link it right up with that thing, and then I've got you can do the faders on the iPad and stuff like that, and mix it 6 and a stereo delay, and like you can I need to pull out a bit of 250 hertz, I can do it right here on the iPad. I mean, just all that stuff is like,
that's amazing.
It's just made like it's like a different kind of it's just crazy when you think about how cool it is. Do all this stuff.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, even because I know I had like basically gotten away from tube amps for a long time and went to like the Fractal and all that stuff, just because like I hated miking. I didn't understand how to mic stuff properly.
Yeah.
So to me, like this kind of stuff is just like, it's the whole reason why I ended up getting back into tube amps. I was just like, oh wait, yeah. I mean, it changed everything, and then now I'm like, oh yeah, there's that. The sound again. So
well, and there's the thing about it is that if you model, I call it modeling the back end. If you model the microphones and the cabs, you get that out of the way, you've solved so many problems with things like volume and just the physical having to go out there in the other room and mic the thing and stuff, and it's and bleed and all that stuff is just gone, and now you can keep the majority of the the tube amp factor there, and the simplicity, just being able to reach out and turn a knob on something, which I know Dave loves, and not even just the tone, just the ease of they're just so simple to use, and they look cool, and so now you can kind of combine all that and come up with these great kind of hybrid setups. And I think that's really cool.
Well, and you can kind of like hear that. I did a video based, we did the Play a Plexi video at GitCon, and I was like, what, I've never actually turned my amps up. So I did a video where just in my room here, I'm sure the neighbors loved it, but I turned all of my amps on 10 through a cabinet and just dimed everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, because I basically with my I use the 2 notes, but I run everything pretty much at half volume, which would just be like impossible for me to do without getting the cops called or something like that. And I'm just like, oh, this is this is why I need that load box, because I'd either get shot by my wife or arrested, and but I was just kind of like, man, I'm like, we're almost spoiled, because I'm like, I get to have all this stuff, and there's just one of my friends, he's just like, yeah, you guys have all this amazing distortion and all this stuff. And he's like, we didn't have any of that stuff when I was playing guitar. So
yeah,
That's true.
Yeah, it was tough back in the day. You kind of had to play loud. I mean, it was like there's no other way.
It's like Zeppelin or something. I mean, didn't have, monitors and stuff. At least yeah, I was gonna say it was just be loud.
Well, that was the reason for the big amps, right? When it was like, I remember a young guitar player saying to me recently, like, why did, like, looking at Jimi Hendrix at that outdoor gig he did in Hawaii, where he's playing the white Strat, and he's got 3 full stacks, and she was asking me, like, are they all on? Like, why did he need all that? And it's like, because there's no PA. It's like
they're all on, and they're on the 8.
Yeah. Like Beatles at Shea Stadium, right? They gave them 100-watt amps and stuff that Vox was making bigger, because it was like, well, there's no other way to hear them. So there was a reason, but also the music that developed as a result was very special. I mean, as far as the way that Hendrix sounded, he wouldn't have sounded that way had he been playing at low volumes. Or I always say, like, what if Hendrix had walked into a modern club, and they're like, turn that guitar down? He would have been like, okay, and then nothing of it would have happened. None of that great music ever would have gotten, because so much of it has to do with the loud amps and all that.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I've probably talked about this on Tone Talk before because I'm so passionate about it. But it's like a big part of the magic. I mean, Eddie with the Variac and all that was him trying to control the volume. I don't think it was a tonal thing. I think it was he was. What if I put this on a dimmer and turn it down? Less power equals less volume. And it does bring it down.
It does.
Yeah.
Right. 90 volts is equivalent to about 50 watts, right? I think.
Yeah, probably about that. Yeah. It's considerably less volume for sure.
Yeah.
And spongier. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So he got a little lower volume and also kind of changed the tone and got some of his, his famous sound that way. It's interesting.
Yeah. Didn't Eddie put like I don't know what it was, like styrofoam and stuff basically in front of his cabinet, just
well, he did all sorts of stuff. He turned his cabinet around the opposite way, and all sorts of things. Yeah,
I love all the books and stuff. Just like reading about Eddie when they were Mammoth and when they were Genesis, and then finally Van Halen. So
I love that their name was Genesis for a little while, and then they went into the record store, and Alex is like, "Hey Ed, look at this." Lamb lies down on Broadway or whatever it was that they saw, and they were like, I think we need to change the name. That's so cool.
But
and then they went,
but part of what I'm sorry, Mark, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to add to what Pete was saying, how the volume thing, I think some of the volume, and it doesn't have to be that loud, but some of the volume things lost a little bit today on some modern guitarists, and they don't really know what to do with it. I think interaction between the guitar and an amplifier, an actual amplifier, not a modeler through a monitor or something, but an actual amplifier, is a crucial part of playing guitar. It's a crucial part of the interaction, the feedback that happens, and the stuff makes rock music exciting.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
And that feedback and that interaction with the guitar. And I'm saying, it doesn't have to be. It has to be loud, but not excruciatingly loud. But and then you still have that feedback and that out of controlness and that cool, what's going to happen kind of thing. And I think
playing it,
I think that's missing a little bit. Like.
I saw Landau last night, and he 412 and that Sidewinder Dumble and then his Fender amp at the same time, and he knows how to work that volume control and turn on those pedals, and it's perfect. It's just
was it good?
Oh God, dude!
I was actually I saw a picture of that, and I was like, dude, who went to that show last night?
Listen to the video that Doug Aldrich put.
I was going to say, Doug posted a video.
Was it a Super Reverb? Or
actually, no, he used his signature Fender last night with the Dumble. So he had the 412 and the Dumble.
That was probably the effects. That was probably the effects amp, the wet amp, and then
maybe
that's what he normally does. Does that with the wet amp, and use the Dumble is the main thing.
Yeah, but God, he sounded. I mean, he just phrases so beautifully, and he knows how to play that stuff. But the volume is part of the. It's not that loud. I mean, it's loud, but it's like when somebody's playing that brilliantly, you're just like, God, just give it to me. I mean, I always use the example of I remember seeing Steve for the first time, Steve Stevens, and he was playing 3 5150 stacks, he had 5150s in, and he had 6 Marshall cabinets, probably because it was a fly date. I remember we were on the same bill, and I remember standing off to the side of the stage, and he had the pointed sort of somewhat sideways like he used to do. Remember, Dave?
Yeah. Yep.
Slant him a bit.
Yeah, he had the 3 bottom cabs on, actually. The top ones were not on, but slanted sideways, towards away from the singer.
Yeah, so right kind of somewhat in my direction where I was standing on the side of the stage watching him, and I was standing there listening to him, and whoever I was standing with, I remember saying, God, I want to go out and I want to lie down on the stage in front of those cabinets. I just want to go down and lie there and just bathe in that shit because it sounded so good.
Well, I'm sure we brought this up the other day. Do you remember one LA Amp show that you were at and I was at, and Zach Wild comes strolling down, and we were in the Metropolis room for some reason, or we went to the Metropolis room, and he decides to take 200-watt half stacks, link them together. Maybe he had a pedal. Was there a chorus pedal or something, or did we have?
Well, he said he came in and I was playing. He goes, "You sound good, man. You got tone in your hands, brother. It sounds good," like that. And he goes, here's what I do. Check this out. And he got down on he had a Heineken, and he put it actually. He shared his Heineken with me. I remember that we were having the same Heineken, and he got down with the Boss chorus, and he plugged into 2 Plexi 100-watt Metropolis on 10, and I played both those in the hotel
room.
It was great. It
was almost like right? It was almost like you were floating out on the sound waves. It was so, but it was really warm. It was good. It was so loud, and it was so euphoric almost.
Yeah. Oh man. Have either or any of you guys, have you been to the Music China before?
No, have you?
Yeah, I've been a couple of times now, and it's crazy. It's basically it's like NAMM, but like 4 times as big, basically, with the buildings. But they have no noise limit. Like NAMM, they're all like.
Oh yeah, I've heard it's crazy loud.
Oh, I mean, literally, like, I mean, it's different than obviously being on a big stage, but like, because I played over there like 4 or 5 times a day this last year, and it just like I'm like, are we allowed to be this loud? It's just like so loud. I was like, this is crazy. Like the amp is, I mean, it was like a 50-watt amp on like 6 or something like that. This are we allowed to do this? So
yeah.
Wow.
But it's that way all day long. So basically, you just take breaks and go outside. I was like, I gotta wait from the noise for a minute and then go back in and play again. But yeah, it's
Guitar Summit in Germany that I went to recently was they had the amp floor, and the whole idea was separate the amps from the rest of the show, so you could do that. So it was
oh man,
a nice show. It's a smaller show, but it's really great actually, and it was freaking loud down there. All the people working in the booths were like, "Oh God," because they were doing this. I could go down and then leave,
Yeah. No, luckily at Music China, everyone's like really like respectful of each other. Like, we're around all these other people performing, and we just kind of like meet. Like, hey, what time are you playing? And he was like, I'm like, oh, I'm at 1. Oh, you're at 1 too. I was like, well, I'll do 1:30. We just kind of work it that way. We're not all just fighting each other. Yeah.
So doesn't sound like Guitar Center on a Saturday?
Yeah. Basically. But
that's cool. I'd like to go to that. So China's a place I've never been yet. So
yeah, you were there for a while, Robert, weren't you? For like
like a little over a week. But it's it's definitely it's very different. Kind of like over there for like 3 or 4 days. I think I'm ready to be home now.
Yeah.
But,
is it Shanghai?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was the first year I got to actually went and saw Shanghai and got to go to some places like temple looking things and stuff. And I was like, oh, this is nice. Cause all the other time it was just straight hotel, convention center, hotel,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really cool.
That's cool.
Guys, I got to split. I have to go and wrap gifts. And so I got to duck out. I got to wrap gifts, and then I'm taking my girl skating. So we're gonna go to the skating rink. So I'm gonna get in trouble if I don't get out of here.
Ice skating?
Yeah, we're going ice skating. Yeah. So
Outside, downtown, or where at?
there's a skating rink in Santa Monica.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's outdoor. It's cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they keep
Nice.
frozen all. It says it opens sometime like right around Thanksgiving, I think, and then goes all the way through till maybe like mid-January or.
I wonder how much they spend on trying to keep it frozen.
Yeah, because some days
It's
it's like
gotta be-
82 degrees outside, even in winter or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
pretty cold right now. But it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Four
Oh,
Walls
yeah,
Music
totally.
says, "What a cop out." Hey, I did my show this morning for like an hour and a half. I've been on the
He
internet.
wasn't supposed to be on the show, guys. Give him a break.
These guys just
Like
let me
Pete.
hang out.
He just
Thanks,
popped
man.
in.
Thanks for coming on, Pete.
You bet.
Yeah,
guys.
thank you, man.
Have a
Merry
Merry
Christmas to
Christmas
you.
and Happy New Year,
See
man.
you.
Yeah, nice to see you guys. Nice to see you, Robert, always. And
Same here, Pete.
you guys take care.
You
Yeah,
too.
man.
See you at NAMM.
Sounds
Okay,
good.
see ya.
Yeah. Later, buddy. And then there were 3.
That's a good album by Genesis, actually. So let's see. I know we got a ton of questions and things in here.
That's a long chat going on here.
Yeah. So I just pulled up Old Guys Guitar Vlog. Asks, is the new Sir load box available now?
Yes,
Oh, cool.
it is. Or at least I saw it available. I think so.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah, I didn't know that. Let's see. Deanna DiGiolio. Oh, let me see that if I can read. Diana DiGio says Wampler Pantheon sounds nice. Yeah, I agree.
Mhm.
It really does. It's a cool pedal. I'm still waiting. I'm actually on the list for the King of Tone from Analog Man,
Oh, nice.
but I won't get that probably for 2 years.
Oh, I keep seeing that pedal pop up.
Yeah, you see it for sale?
I see people like posting pictures of it,
Yeah.
on their boards or something like that. I'm like, I see that pedal everywhere. So it must be good.
That supposedly it's like
That's a cool pedal.
It's
Yeah.
a cool pedal. Yeah, that's what I hear. But
Is that what Josh Smith uses? Is that one of his?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
What is
I
it?
don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember. He might be his like Strat pedal is what he was saying. I think.
Could be.
But,
so Brian McKenzie, Pete is your new amp, 20 watts or 50 watts. I don't know. We didn't get a chance to talk to him about his new amp.
We don't know.
Don't know. We do not know. We'll find out at NAMM, I think. There's a lot of speculation.
cool.
Yeah, so I think I want to give away one more of these. Let's see. How do I do this?
I don't know. You have to ask another question.
I have to ask another question.
What was the 3rd album Dave bought last Tuesday before noon?
Anyone would know that. Oh, hey!
right.
Before you give that away, I'd like to thank Drew Berries because he actually gave me an espresso maker.
Nice.
Great. He wrote
Remember
me.
on the last show I mentioned that?
Yes. So Drew sent you an espresso machine.
Yes, he did, and thank you. And no, I haven't. I just got it the other day, and I just took it out, so I haven't got any pods yet to using it.
That's awesome. My toaster just died. If anybody wants to send me a toaster, just kidding. We just bought another one. Just totally kidding. That's so funny. All right. So actually, all right. So I'm going to go to the end of the chat here, and a question just popped in my head from the show that we had with Robert Keeley. Robert, when we were talking to him, mentioned that he started building, before he started building pedals, he started building something else. Can you tell us what he started building? First person who can tell us what he started building.
I can't.
You don't remember?
I don't know it.
Really?
I don't remember.
Okay. Dan Pfeiffer wrote, I sell toasters, Mark. Oh, that's great. Oh my God, someone got it already. Marvin Brando. Amps.
Huh.
Yep.
He
Robert
built
Keeley.
amps?
He was building amps before he built pedals.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Well, Marvin Brando, you win a Tone Talk metal sign.
There you go. It's a desktop sign. It sits on your desk. And email me at tonetalkmark@gmail, M-A-R-C, tonetalkmark@gmail.com. And I'll
The edges are a little sharp, so don't cut yourself.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it can cut
That's
you.
to us.
A disclaimer before you get this.
We accept no responsibility.
We take no responsibility if you are dumb enough to cut yourself.
But it looks cool. So send me your address and I'll get this out to you. All right, cool. So what else? Let's see what else. What are the questions we got? So Robert, you're going to NAMM, right?
Yes, sir.
Cool. How many days are you going for? The whole 4 days? Are you spending any more time outside of those 4 days? Like,
yeah, I think I fly out Tuesday and doing some stuff at a studio, and then Wednesday. Oh wait, no, NAMM starts on Thursday, so I'm not sure what I'm doing Wednesday then, and then Thursday I will be at NAMM and kind of playing. I know I'll be by the Friedman booth and Wampler and all that kind of stuff to bug Dave. Be like, Dave, what's this sweet guitar that you know? So.
Oh, there's going to be lots of them.
Are there? You know what? People keep asking me about the Metro D, and I'm like, I haven't played one. So.
Oh, there's going to be lots.
Oh, see, that's the last thing I needed to know.
Ruin you.
Yeah, basically that's what's happening.
I know, right?
But
that's cool. So, Dave, are you going to have performers? I think one time we talked.
Yeah, actually, we are this year. Sammy's going to perform.
Nice.
We have a stage in the booth where we can only do short performances because that's how that works for the NAMM folks. And they won't be very loud either for the NAMM folks. But we are so in other words, they're 5-10 minute performances. So they're like a 2-songer on a stage. That'll be once a day. We'll announce that probably on our social media when that is. Probably also with NAMM, I think. But we're going to do more in the sound room.
Cool.
Which will be longer stuff. So we'll do like, a 5-6 songer, almost like we did on our clinic tour. And not only will Sammy be playing, but our other guy, David Black, will also get up and play with Sammy on some original stuff that they wrote together.
Oh, cool.
So it should be fun.
That should be cool.
I always...
And Sammy was in this chat a minute ago. I meant to mention that, but we got kind of sidetracked. Sammy was on here. I don't know if he's still here. He said hi somewhere in here. So that'll be good. I haven't figured out exactly if that's going to be once or twice during the sound room during the day. Because I feel like the outside one is just like, well, that's only 2 songs, big deal. You may as well get a. In other words, we're gonna squeeze a lot of people in that sound room, I think.
It's usually packed in there.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're gonna probably squeeze another 20 people in and see how that goes.
Yeah. I think was it last year? Maybe Doug Rappaport was in there playing or something.
Yeah. Well, the other interesting thing, and you can partake in this too if you'd like. What we're gonna do is we are setting it up so there's 2 rigs available in there.
Mm-hmm.
So and we have tracks available, backing tracks, and so we can do spontaneous jams.
Oh, cool. Well,
so I can toss together any one together. And you can play, so like, well, that's anyone cool. within reason. I mean, not everyone. I mean, like if Doug Rappaport walks in or this or that, it's like, hey, guess what? Here, boom.
Well, right. Me and I was just talking to Tim Pierce, and we were like trying to figure out where we could go to do a video together with basically two rigs essentially. Yeah. So. Sounds
well. Yeah, perfect. You could do that. In fact, we could work that out. In fact, the best. I don't know. Do you have an exhibitor badge?
Yes.
if Tim has an exhibitor badge, also
he does.
You can come earlier and do it before it starts. Like if you wanted to come, like at 9:30 in the morning or something. Or something. And then it's all nice and quiet, and we're just brewing coffee in the room.
Yeah. That's what we were talking. I was like, I want get there early.
I'd be happy to do that. Yeah, let's hook that up, and we'll figure out a time.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool.
I'm going to see Tim before then, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, NAMM's going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
Looking forward to it.
Oh, Sammy's still here.
I was just watching your videos with Henning. I think maybe last week or something like that. Hilarious.
Those were great.
We had a lot of fun tying him to a chair.
Oh, that was I would have just left him there.
We had a lot of fun tying him to that chair.
And when you finally
made to buy multicolored duct tape so we could do it.
And then you got his mouth. Finally.
Yeah, do that. So I don't know what we're gonna do to him in NAMM.
I'm sure Leslie probably just wanted you to leave him in there. Like, oh, thank God, just leave him.
I think I asked her. I go. Are you tired of this, aren't you? She goes. She just sighed, or something. I asked him something like that. Like going.
Yeah, my wife. I drive her crazy with it, so I can only imagine Leslie in there helping all the time do this stuff.
Well, yeah, she's doing all the video switching.
Yeah. So,
have you been to his place?
Yeah, I stayed there for about like a week with him, and we did a bunch of stuff with Schecter. We did some different things, but it was. I mean, Henning's such a nice guy.
Oh yeah, he's a sweetheart.
Cool,
yeah.
dude.
If anyone out there thinks I actually don't like him or anything like that, that's not true. I love him.
Yeah,
he's awesome. So some people comment, "Oh, Dave looks annoyed." I'm like, "Oh no, it couldn't be further from the."
It was all a joke.
The truth.
Yeah.
No, he's a great guy, so I don't have any issues with him whatsoever.
Yeah, we did because like I said, Schecter sent us, it was like 20 guitars or something. I wanted to do Sweet Child of Mine one note at a time, basically, but like each of a different guitar. So yeah. So it was like ridiculous.
Wow.
But we asked him, was like, can we give away a guitar? And basically what Henning did was we had this like crazy long unboxing video opening up all these guitars, and he hid like clues in this like 50-minute video. And in order to enter to win the guitar, you had to find all three of these things hidden inside of this like crazy long video. It's like such a jerk move to do. And he's like, it's so funny.
He showed me, I don't know if it's out yet or not. I have no idea, but there was a giveaway for Rev or something. And I don't know if that's been posted yet, so I don't want to say too much. But there was some crazy submission videos that had to be.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know if that one has been posted yet or not, but I know exactly.
Yeah.
I was impressed that people went to such lengths to
exactly
to enter it. It's like, can't say I would do that for a pedal, but all right.
Yeah. He showed me some of it, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I was like, hats off to you guys.
Yeah.
Purple. Okay, it must be out. Purple for Rev. Someone commented it. So,
okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it is out. Yeah, I was impressed. So
that's funny.
But
good stuff. There was a question here from Eric Johnson. I don't believe it's that Eric Johnson.
Dang it.
How long until Friedman comes out with a 100-watt amp with built-in attenuation? Seems like the obvious next step. No, not with a master volume. You don't need it, dude.
Yeah, there's no point.
Yeah. You really don't need it. It's only for non-master volume amps, really.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you're not really getting that much out of the power section for that. So,
yeah, at least my opinion. Does Friedman make any small combo amps? Yeah.
Sure. We make the Runt 20 combo amp. We make the Pig Taco Mini combo amp, which is a 10-inch speaker. We make the Dirty Shirley Mini combo amp, which is a 10-inch speaker. We have a small box 50, a little bit bigger, more of a gigging amp in the combo. Yeah. Cool. Dirty Shirley combo. Yeah.
Rory Fan 1000. Do you guys think direct mounting pickups like Eddie affects tone?
Absolutely. It absolutely changes the tone, be it for the better or worse. That's its opinion, but it actually totally affects. I remember when I was a kid dealing with this. It totally affects how the pickup sustains. Actually,
does it?
So direct mounting the pickup, screwing it into the wood, directly correlates with the body vibrating into the pickup. It's like it might have more feedback. It might have more sustain to it.
Huh.
But then at the same time, it does change the tone of it too. So, so yes, it does affect it. And I've A/B that directly back and forth.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But this was a long time ago. So, but I remember when I was pretty obsessive about that.
I was just saying, I don't know what guitars I have that are direct mount, but I guess I do have some.
Well, the Cali is, right? Or
yeah.
No?
Well, it depends. No, it depends on which Cali. No.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If it's got a bezel around it, no.
Okay.
Yours isn't. No.
Yeah, mine isn't. I guess isn't either. I guess.
No. It sounds good both ways. So it's not really. It's just a little difference in how it sustains and feeds back, and how much gain there seems to be.
Huh. That's cool. Yeah. I want to like.
Well,
try that
you can kind of think about it. You know, it's just like it's a more direct approach. So the vibrations from the body are kind of resonating into the pickup.
Oh yeah, it totally. I mean, it makes sense. I'm just like, I guess I've never thought about that.
I mean, it does somewhat also mounted with the bezel, but it's a little different.
Right.
Yeah.
It's more like not as direct, sort of.
Like the Wolfgangs have them mounted directly into the body.
Yeah, I don't think I have any. I don't think I have any guitars. Oh, actually, my Charvel is.
Oh, okay.
I had to think about that one for a minute.
Let's see. Ben Coombs. Who doesn't like Henning? Exactly. We all like Henning.
There's a lot of people that don't like Henning. But
people are like, oh, it talks too much.
That's okay.
Henning's a great
He's really a good guy, and you guys shouldn't not dislike him. I mean, you don't have to watch his videos, but he's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's an awesome guy. So we love him.
Henning is a extremely like genuine,
one of a kind.
There you go.
One of a kind.
That's funny, and he loves animals, so he's a good.
He does.
In my book. Mark Damian Crooks asks, when will Mike Himmel be on the show again? Mike's welcome to come on the show. So don't know. Maybe next year, which is coming soon.
Anytime.
We love Mike. All right, let's see. I'm going to go back up to make sure I catch any other questions. So when you're in California, you're going to plan on doing anything, Robert? Anything fun?
Just like I said, just doing some stuff in the studio, and then if I can, I want to stay over a little bit. And
what studio?
You know what? I actually don't know. That's the other thing. I can't remember the name of the studio. I'd say in LA, but I'm sure there's like 1.5 million studios.
What's it for? What are you doing?
I'm just doing some Rev stuff. They asked me about coming out there for that, so I was already gonna be out there. So I was like, oh shoot, yeah. And then like I said, I was talking to Tim, and he was saying he's about like an hour or so from Anaheim, I think.
Yeah, I'm up here too, up by Tim, and so yeah, we're up in he's in Sherman Oaks, I believe, and I'm in North Hollywood, but that's all right next to each other. So
yeah, so I might if I can, I really want to stay over and then head up there to Tim's a little bit.
Yeah,
cool. Yeah, my first day I get in there on Wednesday. I would think I'm going to head down to Hollywood and just hit hit like the whole scene over there. The Sunset
Well,
Strip.
I'll be headed the opposite way.
Yeah, I figured you're going to be there. And then on
I
Thursday.
got to set up day is Wednesday for me.
That sucks. And then I'll see you Thursday morning or Wednesday night, whatever, once I get back from the beach. So there was another question. How did you, and I can't find it on who asked it, but it was for Robert. How did you get hooked up with Rev?
I think it was Summer NAMM. And it's funny. It was the one good thing that came from Summer NAMM. It was like the worst NAMM trip ever. But I needed an amp to play a set or something, and I just happened to reach out to the Rev guys because I had tried their stuff the winter NAMM before, and they were just nice enough to let me borrow an amp, and that just kind of like started the whole process, you know, from there on out. And then later got an amp and just became friends with them, and just kind of went from there. You know, it was just kind of organic, basically. So similar to kind of what, you know, what's been going on with Dave and Jeff and the guys at Boutique and all that stuff. Just good dudes, basically.
Cool. Yeah, I got to check out their amps. I have not heard them.
They're different, you know. That's why I liked them so much, is because it's not, you know, a British thing. It's kind of more American to me, anyways. Which I don't know what I'm talking about half the time with tone. I'm just like, it just sounds good. So that's my only requirement for anything. So I'm sure when Dave is watching me demo something, he's just like, this guy is an idiot. Like, he doesn't know anything that he's talking about.
That's not true.
But
not at all. Dave, there's a question for you. What are Dave's favorite reverb and delay pedals? Any Friedman Delay reverb pedals in the works?
We've talked about doing delays and reverbs, but the problem with that is, man, that's a hard market to compete in. You know, there's so many good ones out there. So what do you do different? And the answer is, I don't know, because I would probably make just something that sounded really great, but not necessarily any different. Something, you know, I was thinking just maybe something simple that sounded really great. But we'll see about that. As far as my favorite delays, DD500 I love because it's got a really authentic model of the SDE 3000 delay in it that that Yoshi, I know, worked really hard on, and it's a great pedal.
I agree.
Reverb. I don't use reverb very much, so I'm not one to do the kind of the ambient, you know, reverbs that have the whatever sparkle on them. Like
the crystal effect,
the crystal reverbs or anything like that. You know, really good sounding basic reverb. It's really simple. Is the Digitech Polara. That's a great sounding, good for plate reverbs and little halls and real simple stuff. Sounds really great. It has like some, you know, lexicon algorithms in it, so it sounds really good. I mean, the Boss reverb is pretty good. The big one, the RV 500, that can do a bunch of stuff. I mean, some of the Strymon reverbs are cool.
I like
if you want to do more ambient stuff, the you know, to be honest, the Electro Harmonix Holy Grails.
Yep, that's what I was going to say.
Are great little reverbs, really simple one knob reverbs that are just sound really good. I know Sammy has a Holy Grail reverb on his pedal board that he uses.
Yeah, I like that pedal.
Yeah, I mean, that's just mine right off the top of my head.
Okay. Bruno Cavera says, Jerry Cantrell on Tone Talk when?
I wish I could answer that.
Man, I would be tuning in for that.
I am going to work on that.
I loved your video you did at Sweetwater with Jerry.
Yeah, we will see. Yeah, we went. Yeah, we traveled. I traveled. I happened to be. That's a long story with what went down with that. So the Sweetwater had asked me, Alice in Chains is playing South Bend, Indiana, and can we do like a rig walkthrough, you know? And I'm like, okay, let me check. So anything that involves that camp has to go through management and all this stuff, and management is it's always like questions like, well, what have they done? Can I see some of their videos? Can I do this? Can I do that? Oh, I'm not sure their video quality is good enough. Oh, I don't know. What's the rig walkthrough? On and on and on. So this was going on and on and on, getting closer and closer, and it just so happened that I was in Detroit, so I was going to be able to, and I had time, and I was going to be able to drive to South Bend and be in the video also. So we're like trying to get this approved, you know, and so finally, like, I get the manager on the phone, and this is on a Saturday, right? And I think the thing's on Tuesday or something like that. And it's on a Saturday, and I'm like, he goes, yeah, okay, let's do it. I mean, this was after 2 weeks of going back and forth. And then he comes and just says, hey, let's do it. Okay, great, cool. It's approved, great. I email everyone at Sweetwater. I get a reply back on Monday. Oh, we didn't think it was going to happen, so we booked our guys to go do something else.
Oh my God!
And this
Jeez.
I was like, this was after like 2 weeks of trying to make this happen, and I'm like, okay, well, really? Are you sure about this?
Yeah.
Really? And so I told Avi at Boutique Amps Distribution about it, and he goes, really? Wait a minute. He calls him up, gets our guy on the phone, and I'm like, man, really? He spent 2 weeks trying to make this happen, and you guys aren't going to do it? And so everything changed. It did happen, and I was able to drive down. Actually, because I was in Detroit, I grabbed Sammy and I took him with me.
Oh man!
And so he was there in the background the whole time. So I remember we were walking in to the theater, and they're sound checking, and he has his cabinets off stage, you know, just mic'd up off stage, and they're just blowing in the wind off stage, you know, and Sammy and I are standing there staring at the cabinets and kind of looking at each other, listening to what's coming out of them, just going, man, that sounds good. I mean, because it really, like, oh man, does that sound good? And
just playing And They Die Young or something like that.
I don't recall what they were playing at the time, but it was just like you're listening to the cabinets going, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
awesome tone.
So yeah, that was that was fun. That was fun. Yeah, it was good walkthroughs.
Yeah, hopefully he'll come on the show. He kind of owes us.
Yeah,
kind
well,
of.
I'm gonna see. We'll see. I haven't asked yet, so I'm gonna see.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Let's see. How can you get an endorsement?
With me or anyone?
Mail, you have some Detroit sports gear, Dave. I don't know what that means. Okay.
I have Dave's personal number. I'm about to give you. And
you can email me. The answer is you can email me with what it is you're doing and what band you might be in or whatever you're doing, and then we'll go from there. You know.
Yeah. I also wanted to mention Rocamp mentioned this. Rocamp 56. Check out Rob's channel. Definitely check out Rob's channel.
Oh, thank you.
Robert Baker's channel. He's got an awesome channel. Great lessons. I actually, I checked out one of your lessons recently. It was that lick from Paul Gilbert.
Oh, yeah.
That you were like, yeah, I was like, okay, I got to learn that. That was like, add to the list of things I need to learn.
Yeah. Well, and Paul's a beast. So
He is.
It's one of the few I can halfway play. But
you did a good job. You did a good job. Yeah, no, it was cool. It was a good video. So yeah, I just definitely wanted to make mention of that. Go subscribe to Robert Baker's channel.
No, thank you, man.
Nah, no problem. Thanks for coming on the show. I know we're.
I don't see everything you do all the time, so forgive me. But have you ever done some of the like Jakey Lee riffs and stuff?
I have not. I was gonna do one on the Bark at the Moon, because there's a way that everyone plays it, and then there's the way that Jake plays it, and then another guy who I'm friends with who has a really cool channel, just Ben Eller. Ben. Yeah, it's been amazing, and he did it already. So I was like, oh, okay, he kind of did the video, but no, I mean that's some of my favorite Ozzy stuff. I mean, the Zach stuff is actually personally my favorite. Everyone hates me for not saying that the Rhodes era is my favorite. I was like, I don't know, man. The blonde hair Zach.
I'm gonna go on the record as saying that the Jakey Lee is my favorite era. So,
really?
Yeah. So you guys can hate me also.
Even what about did Brad Gillis play for Ozzy for not any albums?
Yeah.
But,
Just toured. He toured with him after Randy died.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool, but yeah. No, I really like Jake's playing. So
yeah, well, and then the Badlands and Red Dragon Cartel and all that stuff. So
the new Red Dragon Cartel record,
I haven't heard it.
The brand new record is mind-blowingly cool.
Is it really?
Yeah, and none of it is about shredding.
Nice.
There's no shredding on it at all.
That's cool.
Good riffs.
It's more like really cool riffs. Lots of cool riffs. Like
I'm trying
really
to think.
interesting stuff.
I'm trying to think if maybe they've released other albums now, but the one Lynch Mob album, it came out a while ago now, but George had just some like monster riffs on it. I mean, there's still the shreddy solos, of course, but I just remember I was like, God, those are like that. The first two Lynch Mob album style of riffs. I'm like, this is amazing. So I, can always listen to Lynch.
George is still on fire. I mean, his album, one of my favorite albums to come out this year was, God, I'm looking it up because I can't remember the name of the band. I keep remembering. Ultraphonics.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool album.
Yeah.
The guy is still writing really good music. So he's a talented player.
Yeah.
One of my favorite movies for 2018 popped in my head. Bohemian Rhapsody.
I didn't see it yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Oh, you guys need to go see it. Just from the rock and roll experience.
I saw The Star Is Born.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm disappointed in you.
Why?
Was it good?
Movie.
Was it really good?
Yeah.
Okay.
A great movie. Wait, did you see it?
No.
It was a really good movie.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of it kind of just appealed to me as more like a chick flick. But
it's a really, really particularly good movie.
All right, I'll have to check it out. I heard it's sad. I heard it's sad. I've never even saw the original with Barbra Streisand. So
the movie is sort of sad, but I mean, there's some parts in it where you're just first of all, Lady Gaga steals the show as far as her acting is amazing, and her performing in it. I mean, when there's one in particular scene where she's standing in a parking lot with Bradley Cooper, and she just starts singing this kind of original song of hers, a cappella, just her and herself and her voice and nothing else. And you're just like, holy crap, is that good?
Oh, wow.
I mean, like, you just like listen to it and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah, she's talented. I heard her on Howard Stern a couple times, just her and her piano. And I was like, this woman is talented. That's for sure. So that's cool. I'll have to check it out. My wife went to see it. So
no, I think she's, the thing I like about her is I think she's the real deal. I mean, she writes her music. She's really a performer, entertainer, and a fantastic singer. And she can sit down and play the piano and sing, and you're just like dumbfounded, So, I mean, love me or hate me after I said that, but hey, she's great.
Now she's acting.
Yeah,
so,
and she's good at it.
That's cool. Roscoe Pico Coltrane. I love that name. You know where that's from, Dave?
Yeah, yeah. The Dukes of Hazzard, right?
Dukes of Hazzard. There you go.
Yeah,
I was going to say, does Robert remember that? Because that's way before your time.
I've never actually seen the Dukes of Hazzard. So yeah, I'm sorry. Did that come out in like 2001 or 2002?
More like 1985. He asked.
So wait. How old are you, Robert?
29.
29.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, so So my oldest daughter's 26. So.
Oh, see. Yes, I was born in '89. So.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Could you get Paul Rivera on the show?
Yeah, actually, I'd love to have Paul Rivera. In fact, I plan on reaching out to him and getting him on the show. That'd be great.
Nice.
And Deja Blue asked, when will Bogner be on? Maybe coming in 2019, we'll get Reinhold on. Never know.
That'll be interesting.
Well, we got to get that'll be interesting with Reinhold, and then we also have to get Delana on from Third Power.
Yep, we're gonna do Delana also.
So I'll talk to Delana from Third Power when we at NAMM, see if we can get that set up.
That new amp they had,
it was cool. Kitchen
sink. That was a killer amp. Was that Summer NAMM, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what I hear. I hear it's a really cool amp.
It's a great amp.
Cool. Someone also said have Mason from Ver.
Who? Sorry, you cut out there.
Yeah. Someone also said have Mason from Vertex on. That should be interesting.
I don't know them.
Oh, you have a lot to catch up on.
Oh, okay. I think I might know it. I think I might know what you're talking about. Dave, I'm curious as to why the Cali guitar neck cannot be bird's eye maple all the way through. Braxall asked.
It could be. But to be honest, bird's eye is generally kind of an unstable wood.
Mm-hmm.
So bird's eye necks are notoriously kind of unstable. Like all those Ernie Ball bird's eye EVH guitars, the necks go all over the place all the time. I remember that distinctly. So I've stayed away from it. So we do a bird's eye fingerboard, generally speaking, if someone wants it.
Yeah. That's what my Cali has.
Yeah. So that's it. But we can do it for you if you'd like to have that neck.
Braxall, he takes lessons from me, and he's been talking about ordering a Cali.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean,
we're talking about I'm talking about doing. There's another painter guy that does some really interesting stuff that I'm friends with. That maybe in 2019 we're talking about doing some Dave's Choice guitars, so to speak.
Nice.
So they'll be a little more expensive because it costs a little more to get him to do these paint jobs and stuff. Mm-hmm. But I'm thinking about doing some interesting, quite unique things that are of my choice. So it's just something we've been toying with the idea of, and I always want to get this guy involved a little bit because he does some really neat stuff. And stuff you wouldn't do in like production.
Like one-off kind of deals, basically.
Yeah, they'd be one-off finishes and stuff. So, mm-hmm. but they would be unique and interesting and different from what we do now. So
nice.
Like a little crazier, a little more select, so to speak.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I don't think there'll be that much more, but there'll be a little bit more.
Nice. I was talking to Mark earlier about how much I like the way his his Cali turned out.
Oh yeah, that turned out great.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Well, and then Michael Nilson. Well,
Yeah.
I was basically like telling him, I was like, dude, you gotta get a Cali after I got mine, and I kept telling him, like, sending him pictures of the red one. I was like, dude, Jack Butler, and just like sending him pictures and stuff, and he got that black one. But
he came down to the shop and sat there and hemmed and hawed over a bunch of guitars.
Well,
he picked that one up, and that one he picked up, and he tried it early on, and it was just like, God, I really like this one. And then he tried a bunch of other ones, and he was close on a few other ones, and then he goes, you know what? I think I still like the first one I tried.
yeah. Well, and he's the one who made me want to get the vintage tea. You know, so we just fed into each other at that point. We're just like this whirlwind effect. But oh, you got vintage tea? Oh yeah, check out this Cali. So,
and then you also have a couple of vintage S's behind you, right? Or you did?
I did. Yeah, they're not mine. I will say that one I have. This one, Dave might know. Let me grab it real quick.
That's a nice color.
Here again. Whatever the pickup is, I don't know the specs on these yet. I'll know them before I do the video. But whatever this humbucker is, this one particular humbucker, because the Cali ones sound fantastic, but whatever this one is, it has like crazy mojo to it. It just sounds incredible. I sent clips to Michael.
I mean, that one, it's still the same humbucker.
Is it? It just must be like the combination of stuff.
Well, I mean, everything changes, you know, like, so the style of bridge that's on the guitar changes the tone, the body wood. So that's an alder guitar. Your other guitar, I do believe, is ash.
Yes.
Your Cali. And so this is an alder guitar, so that's different. The bridge, bent metal saddles on the bridge is different. It's a steel block that's different than the Floyd.
Yeah,
they definitely sound different, you know. And if that guitar was in a hardtail, it would sound different yet again.
Yeah, that was when I was figuring out what I wanted. Oh, good.
Yeah. So they speak to you sometimes.
I played it and I was like, oh God, I can't play these guitars too much because I'm like starting to fall in love with it. I was like, this humbucker, because I did the gold when I got the gold pearl. I plugged it in. I just happened to have this guitar and then like basically wrote the whole, you know, Led Zeppelin ripoff song is what it turned out being. But I wrote it right away. I was just like, this, like, whatever this humbucker is, this combination is like, it's a good combination. So
yeah.
Sounds.
So, yeah, and then there's the single coils.
Yeah, but yeah,
ripping.
I love it, but you know what? It's the P90 and the neck of the vintage T. As soon as I flipped to that, I was just like, like there's the neck tone, like to beat all neck tones. But they're very nice. So
that's cool.
But,
try not to buy. I
texted Jeff. I was like, all right, so how long are these guitars here for exactly? Because I need to like avoid playing some of these. but yeah. Put this one over here for a second. There we go. But yeah, they sound fantastic.
Yeah, I think they're just great guitars. Grover's building great stuff. There was a question earlier. I can't.
Hey, also on that guitar too, you don't have a tone pot on the Cali too, so.
That's true.
The tone pot will actually affect the tone also.
Yeah, because Casey.
It'll darken. I saw that from Casey. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same pot technically for the volume, but you have a tone knob attached also. So it will darken it a little bit and load it down a slightly different way. So
okay. Is that what, like, on what's it called? On the Tom Anderson's, like the blower switch? I can't remember what he calls it.
Blower switch bypasses like everything.
Everything. It's just like direct.
Straight out, yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was an earlier question also, Dave. Someone had bought your pickups, a humbucker pickup, and they asked what would be the best
The pot value, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, I guess it depends on your guitar. I mean, the pickups are kind of low enough output that you really could use a 250K or a 500K. So 500K is going to be brighter. 250K is going to roll off a little top end and give you, because it rolls off the top end, it'll accentuate the mid range a little bit more. So either way, it depends on your guitar.
Yeah.
Both could be great. So
Okay, cool.
try it.
Braxall, your student asked, Dave, what is wrong with the Music Man JP15 roasted bird's eye maple neck? I have one and it's great.
Well, roasted could be great. They didn't used to roast them, so they used to be really roasting will fix a lot of the issues. But generally, a bird's eye is not that stable, and older Music Man necks on all those Ernie Ball EVH guitars and stuff, you'll find that you are constantly adjusting necks on them.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Michael Lenhoff says, Robert, that iconic guitar you have is badass.
Yeah, it's another kind of like super stratty kind of guitar. It's kind of funny how I have a lot of super strats, but like none of them feel the same. They all have kind of different vibes and feels to them. So it has the EMG retroactives, which is like the first, I think, EMG pickup I think I've ever actually liked, where I was just like, oh, these sound really good. So I was pretty impressed with them.
That's cool. Someone asked earlier, and I can't, DJ, what's your recommendation on a traveling setup? Full accent amp doesn't fit very well in a semi. I will tell you, I am traveling tomorrow, and I bought a Steinberger. I've got a little travel Steinberger, the Spirit GT, and I bought the Black Star 3-watt fly amp.
Yeah,
and you're set.
Yeah, those are good choices.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Two really good choices to travel with, and then the Steinberger is really small. Boom, you're set.
Yeah. Alternate option, BE100, double neck, double neck SG, and
your own plane.
Yeah. He's driving a semi, just hook up an extra trailer.
Right, exactly. That's funny. I'm running low on energy and time. How you guys doing? Give it like 5 more minutes.
Yeah, fine.
That good. See if there's any other questions. Run through them, and then we'll wrap up because I got to leave tomorrow morning.
Dave's on that California time.
Yes, I'm in California to 7:59 here.
Yeah. The Zen Master. Did Dave ever get to visit Echo Park Guitars this year?
No, I haven't yet. I plan on doing that. I did contact him about visiting him, and I didn't have time when I came in that time. Next time I'm in Detroit, I think I will.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cheddar Kung Pao. Thank you for the contribution, bro. Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. And thoughts on cab IRs for IEMs from Shogun Warrior 74.
Thoughts on cab IRs? Well, a good one. I mean, cab IRs would be great for in-ear monitors. I mean, boy, you have to tell me more of what you're doing. But there's a lot of great ones. Own Hammer out there, Celestion, cab impulses. The new Sir ones released by Own Hammer. Not Own Hammer, sorry, released by Celestion. Whoops. Misspoke there. Pete worked with them on that. So, there's Sir IR pack with various Celestion speakers that came out. It's on the Celestion website, I believe, or the IR website.
Brian Wampler was telling me about the Celestion stuff, about how good it is.
Yeah, it's great. The IRs from them are great. I also like the IRs from Ownhammer. Those are great also. So
nice.
They did I think a BE cabinet pack. That sounds really good.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I saw a couple questions similar to this, so maybe we'll tackle it and maybe we'll end on this. Dave, ever consider making a Tweed style amp since they are the origin of Marshall? They seem popular. And then someone asked also about, you ever think about making a Vox style amps?
Well, I mean, like I had talked a little bit about maybe doing a vintage series of amps. Vintage style amps, but I don't know. We'll see if I'm going to do that or not. I would like to do that, but maybe in a very limited quantity. And it would be more like I would do something more like clone a great amp. You know, like I would kind of go on a search for the Holy Grail one and then try to clone it, kind of thing. Might be a nice little video thing to do.
I still think not that this isn't the same vein of what the questions were, but I still think a non-master volume Marshall type of 68 plexi kind of thing with a built-in attenuator, you know, that whole
yeah, absolutely. It's just a question of yes, that might be possible.
That would be so cool. You know, the whole Eddie in a box kind of thing.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Jim Flanagan asks, when is the Mike No Mo?
I'll have an answer on that shortly. I don't have an answer. I can't even answer you. I don't know where it is right now. I don't know where the circuit boards are. So I will find out shortly.
All right. Well, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm tired. It's been a long day.
I'm sure we missed some stuff, but someone asked, "Hey, how's the Ownhammer Friedman pack to the real thing?" I mean, honestly, Ownhammer does fantastic IRs. So compared to the real thing, they're great. So
nice.
Quite, really good. So.
Cool. And someone asked about a Dumble. I know that Synergy's coming out with an ODS.
Yeah, ODS
cool.
module. Yes, correct. I won't do a Dumble myself because I don't really care for Dumbles that much. So
I finally got to play one at Summer NAMM at Blackbird Studios, and I was like, oh sweet, I finally get to play a Dumble, and I was just kind of like, you know.
Yeah, exactly. You know, they were all designed. They were all made for individual players.
Individual, yeah.
So each one is very individual to the player that it was originally sold to. So I've heard some pretty good ones and some ones that aren't so good. So, and I'm not really that kind of player. So you know, it's not really for me. I'm more of the Marshall kind of player. So.
Yeah, while we were down there, my buddy picked up a 76 JMP while we were there and brought it in, and we're just like, oh my god, this thing sounds amazing, you know. Just that's the sound. Like when I think of guitar, that's just part more what I think of, like that rock sound. But
yeah.
Well,
Dave, if you see any other questions, let us know. Well, Robert tells everybody where they can reach you.
You know, I have a very original and creative YouTube name. It's just called Robert Baker, and I don't know where I came up with that, to be honest. But
it's really ingenious.
Yeah, I mean, it gets the point across. But it's pretty much just Robert Baker on everything. You know, I don't have any cool like AKA known as this guy, but, you know, Pantene endorsee, you know, so.
Well, I think they're going to be calling next.
Man, I'm waiting.
You got the nice sheen. I can see.
Where are you at, Pantene? So.
That's funny. Well, look, everybody have a Merry Christmas
Yes.
and Happy New Year. We will be back on January 11th. I have to confirm it, but with Zachary Vex, which will be cool. And then we're at NAMM right after that. So, all right, you guys have a great evening. Robert, hang on while I hang up.
Sure.
And everybody, thanks for tuning in. Really,
Thank
hit
you.
the subscribe button,
Thank you,
please,
everyone.
and check out Robert's channel. Have a great night.
Awesome.